Trey, what is up, my man? How are you?
Ben, doing all right, man. Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. I'm rocking the Fight for Baltimore shirt.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, thank you so much.
Of course. We'll get
it. I haven't seen that one. It's awesome.
Yeah, this thing's sick. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But, dude, I am pumped to have you on. So, actually, you and I, our stories kind of started the same way. We got drafted the same year. We started in the New York Penn League up in the Northeast. Yep. And I was actually thinking about it today when I was, prepping for this. And we come out of college, you from Notre Dame, me from Old Dominion. And I have no idea what the pro experience is going to be like. And we get to the Penn League. My first locker room I ever went into was the Vermont Lake Monsters locker room. Did you ever play
yeah,
that field?
Worst locker room by far in professional baseball. I don't know if they have a team there still. Vermont was cool. Cool trip. The locker room was abysmal. I got to say.
It was like on dirt. It was like a dirt track.
Yeah, it was. Like, you're dirty getting out of the shower there. I think that might be one place where we just showered at the hotel after the game.
So you played in the minor leagues for 4 years. What is one memory that sticks out to you the most, that you'll carry with you forever?
So most of the memories I have, I'd say almost didn't happen between the lines on the baseball field. There's specifically one time. There are a lot of different hotel experiences that you go through. And there was one when we played in Hagerstown in Low A. My roommate, Austin Wins, he's actually still a teammate of mine now. He and I were roommates. And we opened our little mini fridge in the room, which this hotel, I think, was a converted insane asylum, I heard. There were 20 cockroaches in the fridge, and we just freaked out. It was disgusting. And then luckily they gave us another room, but it was kind of a haunted hotel, and that wasn't a good intro to it.
Oh my God. Well, I'm petrified of cockroaches. So I could not have done it. That's you're welcome to a professional baseball experience. It's that's an exciting one. Speaking of the minor leagues, a big prospect for you guys in the Orioles organization, Adley Rutschman. Obviously, the fans are pumped up about him. Have you played with him or in spring training? Give us a little bit of info about him.
Yeah, I've gotten to know Adley pretty well. I first met him right after he got drafted in 2019. He came up to Baltimore and took BP with us. And I remember thinking, this dude, looks like a big league hitter right now. When he was taking BP, he looked like, he could step on the field that night and perform. And he's a stud. I mean, great catcher, great hitter. He works extremely hard, really humble kid, and I think that he handles being the number one overall pick really well. He carries himself very well, very professionally. And I'm really excited to have him up on the team whenever that is.
With you guys getting close, is there any advice do you feel almost like a mentor? Are you giving him any advice or?
Yeah, I try to with all the guys. I want to be approachable and I want the guys to come up and ask me anything. I was definitely a much later selection than Adley, so I don't know exactly what it's like to, carry the expectations that he does. Because, realistically, somebody picked that high, you do have expectations that go with it. But like I said, he handles it so well. And a lot of the times, during games, somebody like Adley or guys coming up from our, alternate site here in the spring, they'll ask me about certain pitchers, things like that, and I always try to help them out.
That's awesome. So after the minor leagues, you get called up in September 20th, your second at bat, dude. Take me through that a bit. I can't imagine, so at this point, you're past where I have experience. So you're in the big leagues, your second at bat in the big leagues, your first ever hit. Dude, that's so sick. Take me through that at bat.
Yeah, it was amazing. So my first at bat, I remember I just went up there. I ended up flying up to right, but even though I made contact, I was happy I didn't strike out my first at bat. That was almost a win. And before the game, I remember telling one of my teammates, I would do anything to just get a hit tonight. And then, flew out my first at bat, kind of got rid of the nerves and everything. Second at bat, Eduardo Rodriguez is who we faced that night. And he hadn't given up a hit at that point. So I came up in the fifth inning. He threw me two nasty changeups that were outside corner, faded away, and I was early on both of them. And then, part of me thought he'd go back to it. And then I also was thinking, maybe he's going to try to blow a fastball inside here. So I kind of went with that. And almost, I don't want to say I cheated to it a little bit, but I was definitely like ready for a fastball inside. And right when he released it, I knew that it was kind of where I wanted it, and put the swing on it. And I barely even remember anything between that and when I got back into the dugout. It was just so surreal. I couldn't believe it.
That is so awesome. And then there's a video that went viral of your parents just like jumping up and down in the stands. Like how cool, dude, that had to be one of the coolest parts of seeing your mom in the stands going absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it was. That is, years and years. I've been playing baseball since I was 4. So it just kind of like all the tough times that you go through, everything. You played baseball for a very long time too. There's a lot of tough times that go along with it. And it all kind of got wrapped up into that one moment. So it was really cool that could happen in my first game.
So you become an established big league vet, 3 years in the big leagues, and then it's time for spring training of 2020. What is your mindset going into that spring training? Because it's now you're established, you're becoming a vet on that team, so it's got to be a little different going into that spring training from the mental side.
Yeah. Everything was looking and feeling great on the surface going into that spring training. I just entered arbitration. I felt like I had really established myself. I was coming off a great year, so I was just really excited to get going and kind of build off my 2019 and also our team building off. We played pretty well in the second half. And I was just excited to get the group back together and keep improving. So by all accounts, everything was going great up until about, early March of 2020.
Yeah, so then comes March 6th, the day you're diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. What was that day like? Where were you when you found out the news?
Yeah, so it was an awful day. I found out that my iron levels, it came back low in our routine physical that we do every year. And the athletic trainers decided to follow up on that and get it checked out. And so they scheduled a colonoscopy for me, and we were expecting to find a stomach ulcer or celiac disease. And I went to the colonoscopy. Sarah had just landed. This was March 6th, like you said. So she was working and wasn't able to come down for my actual birthday. So we were going to celebrate my birthday that weekend. So she had just landed right before I woke up from the procedure. And a nurse came out and got her and said, "We need you to come in right now. We've been looking for you." And then I woke up and Sarah was sitting right next to me. And then, the doctor told me he found a tumor in my colon and he was 99% sure it was cancerous.
So then April 13th comes around and you start your chemotherapy. Where are you mentally during that? Or where were you then?
So we went up to DC. So right after I got diagnosed, I actually had a surgery March 12th, 6 days after my diagnosis, to remove the tumor. And then we found out that a few lymph nodes tested positive for cancer cells. So when that happens, it's very, very strongly recommended you go through chemotherapy. And of course, we decided to do that. So by April 13th, we were living in Washington, D.C., but I was getting my treatments up at Hopkins. So I'd drive up every other week to get my treatments up there.
Wow. So what were you doing once you started your chemo? I'm sure it was awesome to have your girlfriend, Sarah, around. What else? Because you can't do anything physically, really. What were you doing to pass the time?
Yeah, and obviously the pandemic had just hit right around when I got diagnosed too, so there really wasn't much to do at all. We'd go for like 2 or 3 hour walks, around the city on days I was feeling good. On the day of my infusion and the few days after that, I could barely really do anything or muster up much strength to really walk around too much. But by about Friday of every week, I'd get my infusions Monday. By about Friday, I'd feel pretty good. My appetite would come back. So we'd be able to walk around, play some tennis, like do some, activity for the 9 or 10 days that I'd be feeling kind of decent between my treatments.
Well, I am so pumped for you, man, and where you are now. And you see this shirt I'm rocking. This is all from your foundation, the Trey Mancini Foundation. Cancer awareness, hunger. Take me through that. What are you trying to do with this foundation?
Yeah, so we kept it very broad. Our mission is just we want to help out anything that resonates with us. Obviously, colon cancer and cancer is near and dear to my heart now. But when we first envisioned making the foundation, my older sister Katie is the head of it, and she really leads it, I'd say. And then my younger sister is also on the board, and Sarah helps us a ton too. So it's the four of us that are really working on it right now. But anything that resonates with us, we want to help out. So whether it's colon cancer, we've done a few events for that. Next, we're going to be doing stuff with Blessings in a Backpack and the Boys and Girls Club. We're going to do an event with them. Just anything that resonates, like I said. So we just want to help out anybody that needs it, especially in the Baltimore area.
Dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. So
yeah, thanks.
The comebacks. I'm so pumped for you and where you are. The comeback story is just remarkable. So tell me about the first day you got to pick up a bat again. Were the doctors like, all right, Trey, today is the day? Or were you like in their ear, like, when can I do it? When can I do it?
Yeah. So basically they said once I, felt better after I recovered from my last treatment, I got my port taken out of my chest 3 days after my last infusion. So after that, I was basically good to kind of at my own discretion start doing some more physical activity and maybe gearing up for the next season. So I gave myself a few weeks of kind of slowly ramping up a little bit. And then I picked up a bat in like mid-October, and it was definitely the most excited I've been to hitting a cage in my life. I think I'm all about hitting on a field, seeing where the ball goes. And just hitting off a tee in the cage was a huge deal to me that day, because there were times where I didn't know if I would be able to do that again. So I made sure not to take that for granted. And it was really fun. And I felt a lot better than I thought I would too. I thought I'd be rusty. The bat did feel pretty heavy. I had to get used to that again, but it really was a good feeling to get back in there.
The swing was still there, baby. It doesn't leave you. It's like riding a bike.
Yeah. That's you're never sure if it's going to be there. It was a long layoff. I had never had that much of a long layoff before, but luckily it was still there.
A man's just hitting lasers to the back of the net his first day back. So I follow you on socials and Sarah, and both of you. I think I've seen some videos of you with the virtual reality headset on. Does that help you? Can you like actually track pitches legit, or is it just kind of like a in between?
You can. It's awesome. So my friend Adam Ravenel, he works for Win Reality. Oh, you know Rav. Yeah, he was with the Tigers, of course. So Rav hooked me up. He sent me the Oculus and the Win Reality, and it is awesome, especially just for timing, guys. If there's pitchers you've never seen before, there's a silhouette of them on the mound, and it's their actual windup and everything like that. So even if you just want to know when to start your load and get started, it's great for that. And it also has like all their pitches on there, everything. It's a really cool app and a really cool tool to have.
That's sick. So even if the pitch isn't as realistic, I mean, you can't imitate 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but what you can do is get your timing down from any pitcher on there? Anybody?
Yeah, just about. And yeah, you really can get your timing down. The other day I had never faced Kenta Maeda, I faced him for the first time, and it was very much like it was in Win Reality. I still struck out against him 2 times, but I at least had my timing.
Your timing was down. So that's sick. That could.
Yeah,
I mean, do you think
timing was good?
Do you think that's something you'll take with you into the season? Like you wake up one morning and you're saying, "Oh, okay, we're facing Max Scherzer. Let me put him in on the Oculus and get my timing down."
Yeah, I think so. And at least just a few pitches, but at the same time, I also kind of go on memory and things like that. I think the best experience at the major league level is just facing guys a lot. Having a lot of at-bats against guys really helps. And you kind of make mental notes of what they do well against you, how they attack you, and they do the same with you. So it's an everlasting chess match, I'd say.
Yeah, and speaking of guys that you have faced, who would you say has who's the nastiest pitcher you've faced? Like spin rate, like crazy, just curveball snapping off the table. Who's the nastiest?
Your brother's probably got the best curveball that I've seen. I have a pretty tough time against that one. Yeah,
You got any
it's
knocks off
difficult.
of him?
There are so many great pitchers in the league, but Scherzer is up there for me. I mean, he just, you've got to be on your A game every pitch, and it's the same with a lot of other guys. But as a righty, it's a very uncomfortable at bat, so I've got to go with Scherzer.
All right, so here with this podcast, we're all about having fun, flipping bats, swinging 3-0, all that good stuff. If you were commissioner, and there's all these unwritten rules of baseball that are so outdated and just make the game so outdated. If you were commissioner for one day, what is one unwritten rule that you would be like, you know what, I'm getting rid of this. This is out of here.
I think it's the home runs. I know that's probably like an easy classic answer, but pimping the home runs, as we say, it does make it a lot more fun, and people get a lot more interested when they see personalities emerge when you hit a no doubt home run. Last year when Tatis swung 3-0 and hit a grand slam, I mean, what else was he supposed to do? I mean, even if they're winning and things like that, I do think a lot of the rules are outdated. I remember one time I was in the minor leagues and this same exact situation happened. We were losing by a lot. Somebody on Winston-Salem hit a grand slam against us on a 3-0 count, and everybody kind of got mad. And then I was in the background thinking, like, he's trying to get up to Double-A. We're competing here. We're not trying to be nice to the other team. You got to put your best foot forward, and don't get behind 3-0 if you don't want somebody to hit a home run off you. So I'm all about swinging 3-0. It's a dog eat dog world out there. So I think
you're gonna be a regular here, Trey. Let's go. It's all about putting food on the table, man. Like, it's not about
hitting's hard enough. If you have the opportunity to swing 3-0, even if you're winning, you got to do it.
Exactly, man. Exactly, and it's all flipping bats. It's not about disrespecting the pitcher. I think for so long, that's what it was in people's minds. Is it's disrespectful to people, to the pitcher, and it's not. It's like if I'm playing wiffle ball in my backyard and I hit a ball 400 feet, I'm gonna be pumped. I'm not gonna try and piss off the pitcher, but I'm gonna flip the bat.
Yeah, a lot of it's just it's a way to kind of like unleash your adrenaline a little bit. A lot of times, like, we'll hit a big home run in a big spot, like look in our dugout and yell and get pumped. I mean, that's just kind of what you do when you're excited. And it's the same with flipping your bat. It's just a lot of it's a way for guys to kind of, like I said, show their personality, and a lot of it's adrenaline too. Like, you're so pumped and you just make it look cool.
Exactly. So you're an outfielder. I as well played outfield professionally, and I know firsthand that when we're out there, if I'm 0 for 3 with 3 Ks one day, I'm gonna hear shit from fans in the outfield. I just know it. What do you have any experiences out in the outfield from people like talking trash to you?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, there were a whole lot. I remember I was in Yankee Stadium. I forgot what year it was. It was 2017, 2018, but the entire bleachers, the entire outfield, somebody had gone on my Instagram and like found my sisters on there, and they were chanting their names for like an entire inning at me. The entire outfield. Like, it wasn't just one little section. It was like crazy. The whole stadium could hear it. And but it makes it fun. I mean, I actually do really like whenever fans in the outfield are yelling at you and kind of engage with you out there. Because I remember going to games as a kid, sitting in those seats and thinking it was pretty funny and entertaining to see the fans doing that to opposing players. So I'd be remiss to take offense or get mad if any, fans of opposing teams are talking trash. That's a part of the game too.
It does. It makes it fun. And as long as you like own into it or don't like get all defensive about it, like by the end of the series, they're all like on your side. Like, you get a knock and come back out and they're like rooting for you.
If you take offense and get like all butthurt about it, then yeah, they're gonna wear you out. But you just kind of have to take it all with a grain of salt.
Yep. All right, Trey. So I talked about this shirt. Before I let you go, tell me where I can get some of these. Where can I get a Fight 16 Trey Mancini shirt?
Yeah, so on our foundation page, actually, I have the link in my Instagram bio. But yeah, the Trey Mancini Foundation, we just released a T-shirt line with a bunch of different shirts that people can buy to help support.
That's sick, man. I love this thing. I am so pumped for you. This is a hell of a story, man. This is incredible. Thank you so, so much for joining me. I can't wait to keep seeing you rake. Keep on that Oculus. Get your timing down, baby. Let's go. Thanks for joining me, man.
All right. Thanks, Ben. I appreciate it.
All right, man. See ya. Thanks for watching. If you love flipping bats, swinging 3-0, and just talking ball, hit that subscribe button.